Hey, everybody, just a second here. Good to see you. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And any second now, the Discord group is going to be on. And there they are. Max, take it away, buddy.
Hey, everybody, welcome once again to IGN's News, Games, and More, the wonderful show we all make from our houses at home because that's how you do things in 2020. I'm Max Scoville, and I'm joined today by my good friends Matt Kim,
Hello.
Josh Dew,
Hi, I have no
and,
sunlight in here.
and Destin Legary.
Bam. Hey, everybody. We have some exciting news today.
I'm so excited to talk about something being revealed instead of just something being delayed or canceled. It's so nice. So right off the top, I want to mention that. Oh God, sorry, new microphone. Mess this all up. We just got our sort of first reveal of what the new Assassin's Creed game is. We don't actually get it. We didn't actually get a look at that. That's happening first thing tomorrow morning.
8 a.m.
But I just don't want to. I don't want to scare people off who are like hoping it's going to get revealed in the stream. We probably know as much as you do if you're paying attention to this stuff. But we can run down everything we do know and our various hypotheses. And there's plenty of other stuff to talk about as well. Before we get started, real quick, I want to just give a shout out to right after this. We are doing, or is it? It is. Am I reading the right one here? We've got we've got Jonathan Frakes from Star Trek: The Next Generation joining us for Watch from Home Theater to watch Star Trek: First Contact. That's going to be happening. That's tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific on this very channel. So if you are a Star Trek fan and want to see, someone from actually Star Trek talking over it, that's an option. And then if you are more interested in, people who are involved with the Marvel Universe, cinematic universe, Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on Netflix. They're going to be watching the new film Extraction that has Chris Hemsworth in it, along with the Russo brothers and director Sam Hargrave. And Hemsworth is apparently going to stop by. So that's not a Marvel movie, but it has some Marvel people attached to it. So that's all very well and good. Sorry, they make me say that thing at the top of the show. So now we can talk about Assassin's Creed. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so they teased us in a really, really interesting way before they actually revealed the name and sort of look of everything. Matt, what was it like chasing this morning?
Well, it was really long, and for the first couple of hours, kind of boring. But then it got really exciting. No, they revealed Assassin's Creed Valhalla as we now know it, and they revealed it through a real-time live painting from internet artist Boss Logic. You've probably seen some of his artwork on Twitter and stuff like that. And he was just going to draw an entire portrait from start to finish. Over the course of, I think it was like 8 hours, 6 hours or something like that. So it started at like 6 a.m. and it finished at like 1 p.m. And over the course of the painting, you're like, oh, look at that. It's a longboat. And like, oh, some castles. And oh my God, it's a Viking. Hence Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Bunch of Vikings.
I'm playing back the time lapse right now of him doing the painting from start to finish. And the thing is, we start to see some thematics because half of the image is like a battle with a castle on fire in the background, and the other half of the image is, ships, and that immediately made me think naval combat, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, people love Black Flag. People like the naval combat in the Assassin's Creed games. We don't know what the hell happened with Skull and Bones or over at Ubisoft. So maybe this is going to be that tech will be utilized for some sort of new Viking style combat, and that was really exciting. But before we get into that, I interrupted you, Matt. Was there anything else?
No, that was it. The actual reveal. So this was the title reveal. The world premiere reveal will be tomorrow at 8 a.m. PT, which you can check out IGN for full coverage.
So I like that this is the big surprise here is that we found out it's called Valhalla when everyone was like rumoring it was going to be like Ragnarok or was it Kingdoms?
Kingdoms
Ragnarok.
was another one that was thrown around, and Ragnarok.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of like a little bait and switch. I wonder if they were like code names or if that was just rumors or what. But
Maybe they hadn't landed on the name yet. Maybe they were doing like testing to see which one hit the most. And like Ragnarok, you got Thor Ragnarok. They probably want to avoid that IP, just any sort of brand confusion or anything like that, right?
Kingdoms is actually the code name for the project.
Okay, that also totally sounds like a mobile game.
Yeah,
like Assassin's Creed Kingdoms.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So if Kingdoms was the code name, do you think this will only be Vikings, or do you think we'll explore other things that were happening, in the past? Like, I have no idea.
Yeah,
Probably
it's unclear.
Vikings, right?
Probably Vikings, but I mean Vikings. I mean, what were they known for? They terrorized the English islands and just pillaged British kings for decades, and it was great.
Yeah.
British
I
kings
was
hated Vikings.
I was absolutely stoked about this, and I actually brought up to Wikipedia and started reading about the places that they went. They basically went everywhere. They went to Canada. They went to everywhere on the east side of the globe. Denmark, Norway, Sweden. Yeah, just
Yeah.
this. They could go anywhere with this because there are ships, and it's really, really exciting to just think that we could be going around, cruising around, messing with people in naval combat, docking our ships, and then plundering,
Yeah, I
the
mean,
various kingdoms.
I thought in the painting was split one side and the other side. One side had the longboats, the other side had a battlefield with a castle in the back. And I think, and it could have just been that it was 7 a.m. and I was delirious, but I think the castle was like painted fully formed, and then over the course of the painting, it was like slowly destroyed. So that might be a clue for something.
Oh, really? I'm watching the time lapse right now. Maybe he like did the pillars and then slowly degraded them over time
Yeah.
as he was doing the artwork. Yeah. But real quick, I'll just fade to the YouTube image of when it's premiering on YouTube. Yeah, it says the world premiere is happening tomorrow at 8 a.m. And that's just awesome. I think it's really good timing for a new Assassin's Creed.
I was just thinking about this in the almost exact time last year. It was actually a week from. It was about a week from right now. We got the same kind of weird sort of non E3 presentation from Ubisoft for Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint. They had like the whole big shebang where they just tried to really hype it up, and they got people really on board. It wasn't just, hey, we dropped a trailer. Here's what you think. We'll let you know more in 3 months. They were like, here's the trailer. Now here's like a gameplay extended look, and then here's like our community manager talking about what we're doing next. And I wonder if we're going to see that this time around.
You think this will be like a slow build up sort of thing, Max? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I'm kind of hoping that tomorrow is like Assassin's Creed Day for them, because like that was what was interesting about Breakpoint, was that it was almost like they were trying to get ahead of all the E3 messaging and buzz and the inevitable kind of like deluge of just announcements that come out of that. And they were like, hey, obviously we're going to have stuff at E3. Like here's one of our big titles for the fall. Like just being like, boop, here's Breakpoint. I wonder if they're going to be like, hey, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is like, this is our big fall game. Like here's what we have going on for it.
I mean that would be great, as long as nothing's like Sony would have to come out and say they're doing a press conference where they actually talk about their console for Thunder to be stolen from the Assassin's Creed announcement tomorrow. We have like 1,500 people watching the stream right now just to hear us talk about the Assassin's Creed reveal of Valhalla. This is a huge franchise for UB. So
I'm going to ask you guys this, but like for everyone watching in the chat, what's your take on this? Are you stoked on Vikings? Were you hoping it would be in China or Japan, like everyone's been asking for 11 years?
Well, you know why they want the Japan thing, right? Because at the end of Assassin's Creed 1, you go into the room and you use your eagle vision, and it's all pointing to Japan, right? And then they just never really revisited that, except for that side scroller where you actually got to go there. In my opinion, like we want to be assassins in that sort of a Japan time period and see what the Ubisoft take is on that, right? For one, I love this departure where they're looking at Vikings. It seems like thematically, when they sort of did this reboot, they had the first Assassin's Creed on Xbox One, took place, around the pyramids and everything going on over there. And then they did over by, not Rome, the place right next to Rome. Who played
Constantinople?
Is that where it was?
Yeah.
The previous one? Odyssey.
Yeah.
Odyssey.
Greece.
Thank you.
Right next to Rome.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a boat ride away, basically. Anyway, and now we're getting to explore the Vikings and everything that the Vikings are going to plunder and destroy. And I actually really, really like this thematically, and it's very violent. It is really, really cool Assassin's Creed stuff that's right up my alley. What about you, Matt? Or go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, go ahead.
You mentioned like the other two games, and now I'm realizing like they're kind of touching on these major mythological culture. You got Egyptian mythology, you got Greek mythology, and now you got Norse mythology. And you know, each of them have like the gods playing a pretty solid role in them. And now, like, there's so much Norse mythology stuff going on nowadays. You got, you know, the Thor in Marvel franchise. You got Kratos in God of War. I've been reading Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology book. And then Netflix had a Norse mythology show as well, which is like I think it's in Norwegian. So it's like very authentic
And
experience.
there was that show Vikings on the History Channel.
Yeah. And
that went on
so
for like a bunch of seasons. People like that a lot.
Apparently it's good.
Norway's real hot right now. Yeah.
It might be one of those
for you,
things
Norway.
where when you're not looking for it, you don't see it. When you start looking for it, it's literally everywhere, right? Because we did have.
Yeah.
You're right, though. There has been a lot of Norse mythology stuff. God of War on the PS4, you know, was probably the last big one that I can think of, and then Thor Ragnarok, obviously dealing in the whole Ragnarok mythology and everything. Everybody's sort of having their own fun, unique take on the situation, though, and I like that a lot.
I have a unpopular opinion, but I hope Assassin's Creed never goes to Japan.
Why?
I'm with you on that.
I think it'd be boring. I actually did a story about this because Assassin's Creed Japan has been like one of the most requested settings.
Oh, we lost
for
Matt. Just kidding.
Oh, no, what?
I'm just joking.
No,
dude.
hear me out, right? It's been like one of the most requested settings for this entire series, and I wondered why, right? And it's just because people think that it would do two things. One, it just fits really well. Assassins, ninjas, they're basically the same thing. You know, you hide in shadows and you jump down and you kill people. And two, there's a lot of people who think that if you go back to Japan, it would actually take the gameplay back to the original series, so it would like DRPG the whole thing, which the RPG elements are kind of contentious with fans, but I like them. But that depends on you. But I think Assassin's Creed 3 creative director Alex Hutchinson put it best when he revealed why Ubisoft's not keen on the idea either. He told Xbox back in 2014, Feudal Japan would work as an Assassin's Creed game for sure, but I feel like it would sort of start to look like, oh, have I played this? You know what I mean? Oh, I've been a ninja before. I've been a samurai before. Like, I think.
So instead, they're going Norse mythology, which we just said literally everybody is doing right now. So same problem, right?
Well, we haven't gotten like a massive open world Norse game that is not like mythologized. Like it's theoretically based on history. It's not like about like fighting Odin and Loki or whatever. Like it's
well, there's like a mix of it, right? Like I think the other Assassin's Creed game, they have that sort of mystical element to the realism.
They acknowledge it. I think like Origins. I forget what they did with Greek with Egyptian mythology, but I know with Odyssey, like a lot of the DLC was like, hey, you're gonna go to Hades and fight Cerberus, and it was like, this is supposed to be about history, and it's like they did write about Cerberus in historical, urns and vases and whatnot.
Do you guys like that, or do you like more of the like Assassin's Creed 3 type game that actually sort of looks at historical time periods and how they just choose to handle those situations? Which do you prefer, like more of the mythological fun aspect, Max?
So the thing is, I'm cool with them doing mythological stuff. I think it's very smart to do it as like DLC or an expansion. I'm really happy that and I'm sure people will hate this, but I'm kind of happy that they're moving away from the really convoluted Assassin's Creed Templars and Assassins lore, where I feel like that started stepping on its own toes, and it became like, the whole time you're a guy who's in like a VR chamber who's like going back in time through his ancestors' DNA, and it's like it literally does take you out of the historical period you're in. They put you in this wonderful like intricate attention to detail, like historical recreation, but then you're like, oh, but you're also like a bartender played by Nolan North, and it's like, no, let me go back in time. And it seems like they've kind of made it so like the sort of time travel element of it, or like the historical, like the way you're experiencing virtual reality and history is that you're just playing the games. Like it's not pulling you out of that. It's just like letting you experience a different time period for each game, which I think is like the right way to go about it. So
yeah, the modern day portions of like Odyssey and Origins are so short. They just do it every now and then to remind you that you're playing your ancestor back in the time, but it's like, oh, I'm in present day again. I'm going to jump here, I'm going to jump there, and I'm going to go back to ancient Egypt,
So question, on like the YouTube teaser thumbnail, we just see one character. In the previous game, we got to choose between a male lead and a female lead in the game. Do you hope that they bring that back, or would you be okay if this was like a one-person narrative story where they choose to tell a story of what looks like a male protagonist from start to finish? What's your take? Pick, or they just let you they just give you one story through and through? Matt?
Okay.
All right, Josh, you started. Sorry.
Every time. I know I like the choice element, but every time Assassin's Creed comes up, I think a lot of people look back at Ezio and how great of a character he was, and I do kind of miss this like just one character, one name, and really build that character and flesh out that character. So I'm a little bit torn, but I'm kind of leaning towards the just give me an Ezio tier level assassin again.
Yeah, Ezio was great, and we actually got to see him age because we started in Assassin's Creed 2 with Ezio, and we saw him become the assassin, right? Then all the other Assassin's Creed games that followed Ezio, there was Brotherhood, which is one of my personal favorites. There was the one after that I hated.
Revelation?
I really didn't. I could not get into Revelations. They lost me with the horse race at the beginning, and then the hook blade. I was just like, I'm out.
Oh yeah, the hook blade.
Yeah.
That was sick.
But then he also got to. But if you actually did, power through and get to play through all those games, he actually revisited Altair and Altair's history from the original Assassin's Creed, and yeah, man, those original Assassin's Creeds definitely hold a special place in my heart because we followed one character and we got a chance to become connected with that character. Talking about the previous Assassin's Creed, like in The Office, people just love Cassandra, right? And I think we're not going to get to explore any more of her stories, and I'm wondering if maybe they decided to go singular character for Valhalla. I keep wanting to calling it Vikings. Singular character for that reason.
Definitely be dumbing it down a lot if they were just like Assassin's Creed Vikings. Did they wait? So didn't Unity have two playable characters, like male and female? It was like a brother
Syndicate
and sister,
did.
right? Syndicate.
That was the one. Yeah. And I like that. I liked how in Syndicate you can play as a man or a woman, but they were siblings and they both felt like their own unique character. Cassandra and Alexios kind of felt like mirror images of one another rather than they were also siblings, right?
Yeah.
But when you played as them, they felt like mirror images of one another, like unlike the Syndicate twins who felt like unique entities, right? There's that. But yeah, I think I preferred Cassandra only because Whisper, but like her voice actress was better.
Chat, what's your favorite Assassin's Creed? Let us know for sure. Any other thoughts on Valhalla? Because I could nerd out about Assassin's Creed all day.
So I do this thing where I'm like, I feel like I sort of play every other one, and I'm always screwing up and playing the one that I shouldn't have played. Like I played, let's see, like I skipped Black Flag.
That was a good one.
And then jumped into Syndicate. Was it Syndicate? No, Unity was Unity a second?
Unity was French Revolution.
Okay,
that one
I jumped into Unity and it was like so-so, and I didn't stick with it. And then everyone was like, "You should play Syndicate," and I was like, "No, fooled me once." And then I was like, "I'll check out Origins," and it was like I liked it. I had a pretty good time, and then I didn't stick with it. And then everyone's like, "Odyssey's the best one yet," and I was like, how am I on like the wrong schedule here? So I'm telling myself like, maybe I'll check this one out, but everything I've heard is like, no, skip this one, play the one after that, whatever the hell that is, because that's going to be the one that's really good. And I don't know what the magic is there.
Speaking of the one after that, like, what do you guys think would be good for the next one?
Well,
I'm already jumping ahead.
That's a dream idea, right? That's just
I have an idea. Japan.
No, Japan.
Yeah, for sure. Lots of love in chat for 2, and I am so happy to see that a lot of people really like Brotherhood, by the way, because that's obviously my favorite. It introduced the whole mechanic of having like a thieves guild and everything, and it was just really fun. And it takes place near Rome, or just
a lot of
you go to
love
like
for
Colosseums.
A lot of love for Assassin's Creed 3. That one was kind of tepid when it came out, but it seems like people really dig it.
I had to do
it's got some cool stuff in there, but
I had to do the guide for 3, so by the end of it, whenever you have to do like a walkthrough or a guide for a game at IGN, you'll usually get burnt out unless it's like absolutely phenomenal. I really loved what they did with the snow levels though, because there were areas you could go do hunting and you had to sort of traverse through the snow and do all your stealth stuff. I play them stealth. I don't play very aggressive because I like to.
I have a dream
immersed.
setting for an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mongolia.
Why there?
The Mongolian Empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean all the way to Eastern Europe, right? Can you imagine playing as a character that starts from Mongolia and then just conquering all the way through Constantinople?
That'd be tight.
And it combines because
tight.
Assassin's Creed Revelation took place in Constantinople, so it could merge timelines.
I mean, I'd like to see them revisit like the early Crusade stuff. Like especially with the scale of the games now, where they're like, it's like this isn't a city that we're doing like an entire country. Like this is go nuts, like go explore like an entire area. But like I started reading a book about like the first Crusade. It was like, it was insane. It's like a bunch of like half starved lunatics being like, let's go, we gotta go get the Holy Grail, we gotta take back the Holy Land. And it was like this is a mess. You guys are out of your minds. Anyway. We have some people asking about whether or not we've talked about Daredevil stuff yet. We have not. Would you guys like to talk about Daredevil stuff?
Yeah, let's go to that next. I got it all queued up for you.
Okay, cool. So this is an interesting one. Charlie Cox, who played Daredevil on the Netflix Marvel show, he played Matt Murdock / Daredevil. You probably already knew that. There are some rumors floating around saying that Daredevil is going to pop up in the third Spider-Man film that the MCU puts out in conjunction with Sony, which has currently been productions put on hold, but that has been delayed until November 5th, 2021. So it's a ways off, but there are some rumors that we might see the Devil of Hell's Kitchen pop up in there. And somebody got a hold of Charlie Cox and asked him about that and what he had to say about it. And he said that I hadn't heard those rumors, but it's certainly not with my Daredevil. I'm not involved in it. If that's true, it's not with me. It's with another actor. Of course, I'd love to keep going. I'd love to be involved with it. So a lot of people are totally pissed off about this with good reason, because the Daredevil Netflix show was really good. And they're like, well, I don't want to see a movie that has a different Daredevil. It's too soon for that. What do you guys think? Do you want to see Daredevil? Does it suck for Charlie Cox? It's not Daredevil. I love Daredevil.
I absolutely want to see a Daredevil. I'm still mad that they ended it after 2 seasons. It's one of the best
3 seasons.
3 seasons, sorry, with the bullseye cliffhanger, right? And I'm still upset that he did such a good job as Daredevil. These are some of the best Daredevil stories that have been told. I thought season 2 was but I really, really like season 3. And the fact that they managed to bring it along for that period of time, and then just to cut him loose when he nailed what Daredevil is all about. And I'm all for another actor trying it, but it was just an ill-fated end. Like, it's not the way you like to see a show end. Yeah, we just can't do anymore is why it ended. Not because it was bad, not because people don't want it. It's just, it's a contract thing, and it just sucks.
Deals.
It sucks for him. It sucks for us. But maybe it'll be good news for whoever the new actor is that gets to try out Daredevil. I'm not happy about it personally, though.
I really liked their Bullseye as well. Like, Bullseye was scary.
Yeah.
I still haven't
very,
seen
very
the third season. I really need to.
Yeah.
But the first 1.5 seasons were great. I loved season 2 up until the Punisher arc ended, in which case the whole season became bad. It was good, and then the Punisher went away, and then it was bad. But I heard really good things about 3.
Well, it's because that season 2, it was leading up to the Defenders, right?
Yeah.
They were setting up the Defenders basically, and the Defenders was man. I'm so
that
bummed
was
about
bad.
That was
really
bad. That was bad. I'm so sad about that.
The Netflix Marvel shows are always just like 4 episodes too long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every one of their shows is just like 4 episodes, just too long. And if
I discovered this secret when I was watching Luke Cage season 2, and a bunch of people that were also watching it, they were all telling me how much they were not liking the show, and I was like, oh, it's not so. Because then I realized I was just skipping through all the boring parts.
Yeah.
And it was actually great. It's Luke Cage season 2 also did this weird filler thing where at the end of every episode we had a music video. They just had
It's
like
so
a
long.
performance from a band. It's so long, and I'm like, at first I was like, oh, this is nice, and then the second episode, I'm like, oh, they're still doing this, and I just skipped every single one after that.
So my issue with like the Netflix shows was that they always kind of ran too long, and I think there's this. It doesn't make any sense because they were adhering to this TV model where they're like, a season is 13 episodes, like it's got to be that long, it's got to be that many hours, and it's like you should really maybe scale your story and your budget. Like they could have made a season of Netflix Daredevil show or Marvel show been like, it could have been 6 episodes with like just prestige budget, and it would have been really awesome. That's my issue. Is I thought Charlie Cox was pretty good as Daredevil. I think I got like a little ways into season 2, and I gave up because it felt too much like a primetime TV show, and I really want that. Like I want that proper cinematic treatment.
Yeah, man. Don't sleep on season 3 though, Max. If you're a big Daredevil fan, I feel like they really hit their stride in season 3, sort of with like villain development and just storytelling. There's still that sort of drama TV soap opera feel to it at times because of just the way that they chose to write Karen was. It just sort of kind of gave it that feel that you're describing, I think. But it probably has to do with the amount of episodes they had to do per season, right? They're like, well, what are we going to do? We need to fill 5 episodes. Give Karen a drinking problem.
And it doesn't make it. I mean, that's a drinking problem.
What?
Treating Karen Page nicely. That's have you read Born Again and Saved?
No, I read the Frank Miller stuff, I think.
Okay, that's like it gets messed up. Like it gets so screwed up where she's like, oh yeah, oops, I told my drug dealer who Daredevil is, and then the Kingpin blew up Daredevil's house, and now he's pretending to be homeless and stumbling around like fighting cops. Like it's so gnarly, and like I love that stuff so much. And I mean, I appreciate that Netflix was willing to get like a little bit dark with it. I don't have the highest hopes we'll ever see like, Daredevil and Punisher and Bullseye, characters like that really treated properly in the MCU.
Punisher. I was so happy with the Punisher series because like previous to that we had the Punisher movie, which was okay, the one with John Travolta, and I really like the actor who portrayed the Punisher.
What Punisher movie were you watching with John Travolta in it?
The Punisher movie.
The first one with
John. Really?
He was the main villain. Who was the main actor though? Who played
Thomas Jane?
Thomas Jane. Yeah, so it was Thomas Jane. John Travolta was the villain.
John Travolta as the Punisher.
I thought that too. I never watched it because
it was loosely based off of the Punisher Garth Ennis series, where Garth Ennis took over and he got really crazy, but also ultra violent with it. So it was a lot of fan service, right? And then they did the Daredevil Netflix series, and it really, really felt like they just hit this really, really good tone with it. And I actually really liked how Jigsaw was like disfigured, but it was more in his brain, and they leaned into that as opposed to his physical disfigurement like they did with the second Punisher movie. That was awful. Warzone is awful. Do not watch Warzone.
No, Warzone's fun as hell. You're out of your mind.
So bad, man.
No, watch that again. Watch that again.
Antonio Sinclair asks, did you guys like Punisher and Jessica Jones? And I'm going to answer this. I liked the first season of all of Netflix's Marvel shows except for Iron Fist. And I don't know what you would count Defenders, but I didn't like Defenders. So I liked the first season of every other Netflix.
So hot take, Iron Fist and Empowerment, or Iron Fist and Luke Cage should have been the same show. Like they had a team up comic back in the, and it's like they should have leaned into that like kung fu buddy cop inner city approach. Like
Defenders try to make them friends, and they just met. They're like, hey, episode 1, like you guys are friends now, and they're like, we just met each other, but okay.
I liked Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can move on.
Wesley Goulet in the YouTube chat asked if we already showed the reveal trailer. The reveal trailer for Assassin's Creed has not been shown yet. That is happening tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific. Am I saying that the right? No, it's
8 a.m. Pacific.
8 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. 11 o'clock.
11 a.m.
Pacific. Yeah. Or
11 Eastern.
So tune in for that. We'll obviously be covering that left and right on IGN. It's a game we're going to be talking about for the rest of the year, and then some after that. But in the meantime, there's some stuff to talk about. So there's some like weird patch notes from various games that people are probably playing a lot of. Call of Duty Modern Warfare got a massive 15 gig update, which has a weird mystery associated with this. This fascinates me. Matt, can you tell us about this red access card?
Well, I wish I could, but I don't know anything about it other than that it was added in the most recent update, and nobody knows what it does. And that's about it. Yeah. So there was another massive update for Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This one was 15 gigabytes on consoles, and a lot of it was just like balance fixes, bug fixes, and normal patch stuff. Except, Activision threw in this mysterious red access code loot item in the Warzone map, and people are just like, this doesn't do anything yet. But we don't know what it
Okay.
is.
It's
I
a
kinda
code
love
to
that.
watch Punisher Warzone.
It's a mystery.
What if Punisher Warzone is accessed with the red access card?
Yeah, that's it.
No.
There you go.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but like 15 gigs for just like patch fixes and like
Yeah.
tweak is unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's been an ongoing problem. I don't know, but it's been an ongoing thing with Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Warzone in particular. But the updates and patches have just been massive, and like on console, like for console players, they had to download 15 gigabytes of this like data pack, and they also had to like hard reset the game in order for it to like stick. So it's really odd. Yeah,
It's pretty
the whole-
funny.
and the base size is like 100 gigabytes just to install Warzone
Yeah.
to begin with. So that's
Yeah.
Because you have to
It's a
download the whole
huge
game.
game already.
Yeah.
Warzone's really fun though. I actually got pretty hooked on it there when they had original trio still. They're back again. And a lot of people are talking about this update because not only did they have this sort of secret thing, they also changed how bounties work, apparently. And if those are gone from the game, those are sort of exciting. You could like put a bounty on somebody and then they would all be chased. Here's what it says for Warzone. Most wanted contract, instead of a random operator being marked on your TAC map, you are voluntarily putting a bounty on yourself for any squad to see in Verdansk. Of course, this great risk does have some great rewards. Yeah, I don't like that.
It's fun.
I like being able to mark somebody else. Like that was part of the fun, right?
Huh?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, no, I haven't played. Sorry, but that sounds more fun than making yourself a target. But like, I mean, maybe people thought it was too unfair for randos who are being like, I feel like I'm getting targeted all the time, even though it's random.
Fair.
That's all.
I just want to know what this freaking red card does. Like that's so
Yeah.
mysterious.
It's gonna
Yeah.
open
It's-
something,
it's
Max.
huge.
That's I don't know, that kind of stuff is exciting to me. I like that game studios are using these sort of active communities to drop stuff in there. And we see people data mining and digging through patch notes and being like, this thing is suspicious. I don't know what to make of this. Which
Yeah.
brings me to something that's in the exact opposite direction of putting a bounty on somebody. What's going on in Fortnite?
Whoa, can I read one comment on Twitter that responded
it.
to this patch? They said a 15 gigabyte quote unquote patch, LMAO, that's the whole blank. I thought it was clever. All right, let's move on. Shout out
Cut
to
out. I didn't
at
hear it.
Bryce J. Oh, you didn't hear it? Did I,
I didn't
glitch
hear it.
out?
You cut out a little bit, yeah.
Okay. A 15 gigabyte quote unquote LMAO, that's the whole blanket.
Oh.
Yeah. At Bryce J all day. Thank
The
you,
whole
Bryce.
blanket.
The whole blanket. It's the whole blanket, baby.
Next story about Fortnite.
So anyway, there is a prolific Fortnite leaker who has a Twitter account, which is ShinbobBR.
I got it up on the
Posted a
screen.
few. You got it here? Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, look at a new map called Papaya and a series of 9 communication emotes, which are, decidedly kind of like friendly and not really super violent. It's like nodding, shaking your head, waving, sitting, cheering, waving a phone. And apparently there's a new limited time mode called Party Royale, which allows players to hang out with friends, play games, and perfect your skydive and leave your weapons and mats behind. Which, that just sounds like Fortnite Animal Crossing.
Hot take. That sounds real dumb.
Well, that's because you're good at video games, Destin. Some people suck and just want to make friends on the computer.
Then go in creative mode.
You know what? Actually,
Like-
real idea. When you did it, right, Dustin, about the Travis Scott thing, people could kill each other there, right, while waiting for the concert to start.
Yeah, I think so. Usually with the big Fortnite events, you can still slaughter each other.
Right. So.
And I think
maybe
your
this-
head's going where I went also.
Yeah, I think this map is for not killing, so that they could do more concerts where people don't get murdered while waiting for it.
I mean, people get killed at real concerts. You ever heard of Altamont?
Whoa. It's very dark, Max.
It's been like 40 years. It's true. People die at these things. I could have said Woodstock 99. Jesus. Anyway.
But
Also,
I personally don't like this because it seems like they're making this decision so that they can shovel more marketing into the world of Fortnite. And anytime that a decision is made so that they can further perpetuate marketing within their game, it doesn't sit right with me. It's a little odd. It doesn't seem like, I hope this is to service the player base and not to service other needs that they might have. It just,
Justin, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Fortnite isn't just about gaming. It's also about Marshmallow. It's about Into the Spider-Verse. It's about Avengers Endgame. It's about Deadpool coming soon to streaming UHD or whatever they put it. Harley Quinn, maybe. Was that PUBG? I can't. It's about the brands, okay?
the integrations have been fun to this point. They had Batman, they had Thanos, they had the Star Wars premiere there, and most people just agree to not slaughter each other. Every once in a while, you get that one jerk who sort of does it, but you can still spectate, so you're not totally out of the experience. And yeah, I don't know. I just think if you just make it designated where you can't do anything in the battle royale mode, that's just odd to me. So maybe this could be a few other things. This could also be areas where people could create unique experiences that they could share with other people. Maybe they're expanding upon that aspect of it, because they did have an area in the game where you could create your own sort of arenas, I remember. I don't remember specifically what it was called, but I know they had that. So maybe that's more what they're leaning into, giving more tools to the player base as opposed to the pessimistic outlook I had originally.
I mean, I can't help but feel like this is tailor-made to sort of, I mean, let's not forget that Fortnite's Battle Royale mode came hot on the tails of the success of PUBG, and that when Fortnite first launched, it was kind of just a weird co-op Minecraft shooter game. But like, if they were looking at sort of the success of Animal Crossing as just a social hub to create like a platform that's, you know, overtly dedicated to that, being like, hey, this is a place to this is an island to hang out with your friends, and it's free. You can get on there, you know, for free.
Yeah, that's fine. Just create a unique mode for it. Because otherwise you're just going to get like 50 people hanging out in these safe zones. They're going to find ways to like gather up materials, stay in the safe zone, and then eventually be forced to...
Separate. I think that's the mode though, isn't it? It's just Party Royale instead of Battle
I think this
Royale.
is a separate mode actually.
Oh, I'm
Or
down.
at least that's... Well, anyways.
But hey, if you want to kill people, there's a good news. There's also apparently Operation Payload, which is an escort mode with push-stop mechanics where players can switch roles and choose the tech each round. So, you know, that sounds like that sounds like Overwatch kind of, yeah.
It's all a data mine leak anyway, and these data mines are wrong like 90% of the time. So
Okay, well, here's one data mine you
Are
can
they
argue
though?
with.
The Fortnite
the
ones?
Fortnite ones, yeah.
Really? I feel like back. I mean, I haven't kept up with them lately, but I remember like pretty on point.
There's so much misinformation in the Fortnite leak specifically that we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll be eating crow in like a week.
Hey, Destin, if you can't spout bullshit you read online on YouTube, where can you about Fortnite? So
Yeah.
Twitter.
There you go.
Also do it on
Twitter. Anyway, speaking of reading bullshit you found online, there's also a listing for Apex Legends, which points to, brace yourselves, Apex Legends might come to next-gen systems.
Whoa.
The job specification asks for a shader enthusiast who enjoys maintaining or improving visual fidelity, indicating that Respawn could be looking to improve the graphical quality of Apex Legends for next-gen consoles and PC, which is incredibly obvious.
Do any of you guys know anyone that identifies as a shader enthusiast who likes making things look better?
Shader enthusiast.
That's so weird. Is that what that said on the job listing? Like, I kind of hate those job listings where like, are you a program ninja who just loves kung fuing code all the time?
Dude,
Have you been
social
reading
media
my job
rockstar.
descriptions for IGN?
I once applied for a data entry job.
This story
just 'cause
again.
I was looking, and in the interview, they're like, "Oh, what do you like most about data entry?" And I was like, "What?" And that was like in the third round of the interview. Straight up, there were multiple rounds for this data entry job where I was going to input movie metadata. It was ridiculous.
What'd you say? Did
I
you say
said-
what?
I don't know. I think I said something about how I like.
You like data?
No, I don't like data. That was a lie.
Well,
That's why you didn't get the job.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you're
You
You
here,
just been
and
like,
I'm
well,
glad you
for
didn't get it.
starters, data is crazy, and on the other hand, entering it is just a whole other story right there. And then you should have flipped it on the interviewer and being like, so what do you like about interviewing people for jobs? What brought you to human resources?
Oh man,
That-
awful.
That Apex story just makes me mad. Because,
Why?
like, yeah, no kidding. Of course
Yeah.
they're bringing it to next gen. It's a free-to-play battle royale. It's the biggest thing EA has going on right now. No
Here's
kidding.
the
They're
scoop.
yeah.
If you have a popular game that's currently on this gen and it's still going strong, it's probably going to be on next gen.
Yeah,
That's a
guess
scoop.
what? Guess what? Destiny 2 is probably going to be on next gen.
Mm-hmm.
Warframe's probably going to be
GTA
on next
Online.
gen. GTA
Yeah.
Online.
Mm-hmm.
Read that on.
Well, we already know they're all going to work on Xbox Series X because yeah. That's their philosophy. Sorry, Max.
Anyway, on the subject of games that are free-ish, we got the PlayStation Plus games for May 2020 revealed, and brace yourselves because there are a couple of real thrill rides. For fans of the agriculture industry, Farming Simulator 19,
Yeah.
and for fans of the nuances of urban development and planning, Cities Skylines. Pyong, pyong, pyong. That's it. That's all of them.
So, Farming Simulator is very popular. Max, you've been to
Yeah.
Gamescom with us, right?
Yes.
They have like a whole wing of Gamescom for Farming Simulator, and they were doing tournaments last year where they were like blaring about who farmed the most hay the fastest or whatever the hell you do to win Farming Simulator.
No, I'm
And-
not trying to knock it. I think this is a weird call because like people who like simulations, I feel like would have already latched onto this. I feel like the people who are going to play these games are already playing them hardcore on PC, and the people who are going to jump on them on consoles already probably have them on consoles. So it's not just that it's simulations on PlayStation Plus. It's all simulations on PlayStation Plus. It's kind of like, okay, well, what if you want to play a game where you push a button to jump? You know,
Right.
Maybe they're just like going into this COVID crisis stuff, you know, like take a load off, farm, build a city, you know, make your ideal world.
They're pretty good. Those sim games are pretty good for downtime.
Yeah, chat's pointing out that these have pretty massive Twitch audiences, actually, especially Farming Simulator. So if you're a big fan of Farming Simulator, make sure you pick up Farming Simulator on your PlayStation Plus account. And if you like cities, get cities because it's free also. They're not for me. I know that in
which do you guys think is cooler, farms or cities?
Oh, farm's easy.
Oh, you're a farm?
Yeah, for sure. Someday I would like to own chickens and ducks. That's my longer term goal. I just want to have some pet
The
ducks.
dude likes eggs, all right? The dude likes eggs.
Yeah. I had chickens growing up. Like I grew up on a farm, right? And we had pet chickens and we would get eggs all the time. My dad bought 6 chickens. That's too many chickens, by the way. They would lay way too many eggs. And we just took care of them. But they're hard to take care of. They poop all over the place.
True.
You use that as fertilizer, though. So wait, hold on. Your whole issue with the party mode in Fortnite is that it's lame because nobody can shoot you. But your logic is like, yeah, I like farms better than cities, where cities are like a great place to get shot.
No, I like animals. I don't know.
That's a fair point.
What if they added animal mode to Fortnite, huh? A non-combat Destin's in.
Destin's in. Destin likes 2 things: shooting and animals. No, but not shooting
Not
animals.
together.
Yeah. No, Europe loves Farming Simulator, and also you know how there's a lot of like Ren fairs here in America, right? Turns out I read the story a while back, but in like Germany is like the world's largest cowboy fair apparently. Like they do like cowboy reenactments in Germany the same way that like there's Ren fairs here, and I'm just saying it goes, the fascination, cross-cultural fascination goes both ways.
Oh.
Yeah, they love cowboy stuff.
That
in
kind of
Europe.
checks out. one of my like in-laws is he married a German woman. Her parents were visiting, and they were like, oh, is there like anything you want to do in America while you're here? Like, is there anything you want to check out? And they were like, can we go meet American Indians? And I was like, I don't really know how to go. I don't know where to go for that. Like, like I don't know what like I don't think they do tours, like maybe they do. But I was like, that's an odd one. But I guess
maybe have to go to a casino.
Yeah. But man, just saying, grass is always greener, I guess.
It's funny too. I think PlayStation, like, it seems like they used up all their credit on Uncharted 4 for the last month, and then also putting out the Nathan Drake collection and Journey out for free. And they're like, shoot, we don't have enough money to get good games or big games. Sorry, not good games. Big games. Sorry, I don't want to talk
They're
crap.
simulations, okay?
Yes,
it's a different thing.
They're like, we only got a budget for simulators, so that's this month. That's my theory, anyway.
Well, I'll check it out. I'll try to crash a tractor. That seems like a good time.
Yeah.
A lot of our international viewers are like, "Hey, I'm really into farming simulators, so I guess I'm not alone."
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that speaks to just how everything in America is just a real toilet fire, whereas over there it's like things kind of function, and maybe you have like the peace of mind to be like, yeah, I'm gonna farm, not. Anyway,
Go crazy.
And all my lights are going out here. Turn on. There we go.
What are we going to next, Max? As your lights break.
Can we talk about AMC?
We can talk about AMC. This is a funny one. So
that's a good one.
So AMC Theaters chain yesterday basically was like, we're not going to be screening any Universal films because they released Trolls World Tour early and it did bonkers numbers, which could have been our box office money. And this just today, Cineworld, who's the parent company of Regal Cinemas, issued the statement. Today, we make it clear again that we will not be showing any movies that fail to respect the windows, as it does not make any economic sense for us. So like these theater chains are buddying up, basically being like, we're not going to show any Universal Pictures films when they come back to theater.
Jeez. What a real, what's the phrase? Real cutting off your nose to spite your face thing? Biting your face to cut your nose? I don't know how the phrase goes. But
biting the hand that feeds?
No. Anyway, it's fine. It's a real dumb move from the movie theater people, but whatever.
It's so weird. But I think they do have cause to worry. Like, when they put it out on VOD, the studio makes 80% of the profits. Mm-hmm. Whereas if they put it out in theaters, they only get 50%. So not only is their share of profits higher, they might actually be selling more as well, because this isn't going to apply to something like Fast and the Furious, but because it's a kids movie, people are more willing to watch it at home, give their kids something to do for an hour and a half. But I could see why AMC is a little scared. I don't think going, cutting off their nose to spite their face is a good move, but it's petty.
It's so petty.
So what if we end up getting Fast and the Furious direct to home? Like, how much? If Trolls did bonkers, and Sonic did fairly well, also, like probably at least as well as expected, if not better. What if this ends up hurting AMC in the long run? AMC was already struggling, weren't they? So now they're just like, we're taking a stance. We're not going to show Universal movies. It's unprecedented times, dude. If that's your reaction to it, good luck getting good with those people again.
Yeah. All
right, only at Cinemark theaters. Like, there's other places they can go.
The next Fast and Furious movie is delayed until next year, so theaters should hopefully be open by then, is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is like piracy. I can't imagine a lot of like people are pirating Trolls World Tour, right? But I think hella people would pirate Fast and Furious if it went digital. Like, once it hits digitally, it's gonna be on like piracy websites like within the hour.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure more people will be willing to pirate Fast than they would be to pay $20 for your kids to watch Trolls,
But I wonder if that's gotten better. That whole tracking and finding illegal copies that have been uploaded to the internet, I feel like they've gotten better about that. And if you actually watch any of that stuff in your home, they send out, I'm pretty sure they like send out letters and stuff that are just basically warnings.
my stupid friend was like house sitting at one point, and he came over and he kept bringing his laptop while he had BitTorrent open, and I got all these letters from Comcast or whoever, and they were like, and it was like a separate letter for each file, and he was torrenting the entire first season of Silicon Valley, and so I got like 12 letters that were like, we would like to, call to cease and desist of the downloading and the seeding of the torrent label. That it was like the whole file name, and then it was like, season 1, episode 2. I was like, and I, did that for like, and it was just season 1, episode 11. I was like, damn it, Bill! Like, just.
Also, that's just on HBO Now and Go. So
I mean, this was back when
before.
It was first airing, but yeah. But it's still like it kind of it definitely like put the fear of Comcast in me, where I was like, what, are they going to shut off my internet and not? Are they going to call the cops or fine me? Like, I don't know. I think like a lot of people will just stop doing a thing if they get an official piece of paperwork that says don't do that thing.
Yeah. I think HBO with Game of Thrones is one of the first people to really crack down on torrenting that show, and they were very public about it and everything. And then they also got their services up and in order in a way that you could just watch those shows day and date for a very reasonable price. And now we have Disney Plus, and with Netflix and Hulu, we have these services where you just subscribe to whatever you want. Like, I have 2 of them for free because I have a cell phone. Basically, they just give you access to HBO, for example, if you have an AT&T plan. So, and yeah.
Universal's going to be jumping on Peacock probably. That's sort of tied with that.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, this strikes me as, it's petty, but it's also, it's kind of it just looks desperate.
Yeah.
To be like, we're not going to show your movies. And it's like, well, how many theaters do you have in China where Fast and Furious movies do bonkers numbers? Like, I don't, it's also like, maybe think more proactively, like be like, maybe if you're trying to get people to go to the movie theaters, they're not going to, like, adapt your situation to be like, oh, we're a drive-in now. Like, I don't know, like, what, like they have real estate. They don't have movies. You can't, if you're not going to show a movie, then people aren't going to go there if they want to see that movie.
Yeah, man. It's not like I'm going to movie theaters for $11 hot dogs,
Yeah.
It's
really have you read like the letter? They're so butthurt. They're
about trolls.
No, like about trolls. They said they're willing to sit down with Universal to discuss, negotiations and stuff. But ultimately, they found Universal's unilateral pronouncements on this issue. They found that they are unpalatable to us. Unpalatable.
Well, because they're about to file for bankruptcy. That's why it's unpalatable. Like,
but they're disgusted. They're disgusted at Universal for even doing this. For thinking to put out a movie online.
Okay, AMC. So let me get this straight. There's a pandemic. People literally can't go to your theaters. Your theaters are shut down everywhere. Unprecedented circumstances. They offer entertainment to people in their homes, and you're like, no, this is the hill that we're going to die on. Possibly, literally, if they have to file bankruptcy. It's just bad across the board on AMC's front. This seems like some CEO is offended personally, and he's making a bad business decision for the entire company.
Yeah. Also, like, I don't know, if you want to sit down and talk, like, don't send a public statement. Like, get your contacts at Universal on the phone and chat with them privately.
Oh,
like,
it makes for makes for a fun news story. So
exactly,
maybe it is a good thing that they went public with this.
Well, it put Universal in a spot, because then Universal came back with the letter that's also gone public, and they're like, oh no, like, that means we're just trying to, like, serve the public, we're trying to entertain people, and we are disappointed by the seemingly coordinated attempt from AMC and NATO to confuse our position and our action.
Oh, so Universal yet again comes out looking like the good guy.
My question is, did Regal put out this letter thinking that people would side with them? Like,
exactly, right?
Like
why?
Like, oh.
That's the weird thing. It's like you put things out in public to get the public on your side. But AMC and Regal are doing this, and they just come off as super petty and not like very cool or chill about any of this.
Unchill.
It makes me, like, the first thing I thought was like, okay, I'll go see Fast and Furious at, like, a local independent theater. Like, that'd be like hilarious if the only place you could see that would be, like, art house theaters. And
Whoa.
There's a lot of great
Actually-
theaters in San Francisco that are like small independent theaters. So
And even the
All right.
mid-sized one like Alamo Draft House.
yeah.
Yeah, Alamo Draft House is going to be loving that. They're like, we weren't going to show Trolls anyway. We only served like good luck.
Yeah.
All right. So one last fun story, which is kind of cute, is Reggie Fils-Aimé, from formerly the president of Nintendo of America, is launching a gaming podcast alongside journalist Harold Goldberg. It's called Talking Games with Reggie and Harold, and it's going to be a 7-episode podcast series, where the two of them kind of just chat games with some important gaming people. The first guest is going to be Jeff Keighley, and they are not trying to turn a profit. Any donations they make are helping to bring mentorship and technology to disadvantaged youths in New York City. They have a GoFundMe set up. That just makes me happy because I Reggie retired and he was kind of like, goodbye, everybody. My body is no longer ready. I'm going to go and give college speeches and do charity work, which is like wonderful of him. So
Yeah.
Reggie's just a fun dude. Like,
Yeah.
he recognizes his persona. He just owned it, and he just does good stuff for people. So it's kind of hard to give him a hard time. What did he do after Nintendo? Where did he go again?
GameStop.
GameStop. Yeah, he joined the GameStop board.
Well,
Yeah.
so imagine you left the company that you were at for however long he was at Nintendo. It was a very long time. And then GameStop's like, hey, we'll pay you a ton of money to come to board meetings once a week. Do you want to take it? Yeah, your answer is going to be yeah. Like a board member makes a lot of money to do like attend meetings, basically.
it just makes him look good. Yeah. And it's like,
Gig.
I mean, GameStop is not in the best of places, but that was clearly the case before he showed up. So if he, if they go completely, if they completely capsize, and he'd be like, well, I tried. And if they suddenly turn things around, he's like, my work here is done.
It's a win-win for him.
Someone put an idea of what the podcast should have been called. Who did that?
Take a wild guess.
You? It was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one. I want you to read it. I want everyone separately. I mostly just want Reggie to read it. But
All right. So should have called the podcast "My Potty is Ready." My potty is ready. It's a hard.
It works in writing, but not in like it
sounds like potty,
thing.
but it's a poddy. Poddy is ready.
Yeah. Hey, did you install that new toilet yet? Yes, my potty is ready.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
let's just recap the Assassin's Creed news for everybody freaking out really quick.
For anybody who didn't get a chance to catch this, we did not reveal the Assassin's Creed trailer. That is happening first thing tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern, and it's going to be. We're probably going to be. Are we going to have it on IGN's channel, or are we?
We better.
Go
to IGN.com.
We'll definitely have a bunch of coverage up for it. We're going to be talking about this game for the rest of the year, undoubtedly. Did you want to say something, Destin?
Yeah, if we don't, sorry, Matt, we gotta let you go.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
If we don't have it, just go and check out our.
man.
But yeah, so that'll be all over the internet. I don't see anything bigger than Assassin's Creed Valhalla happening tomorrow. So tune in for that. Wake up nice and early, or sleep in and then check it out at your own leisure. Because what else are you gonna do? Why else would you wake up early? It's what are you gonna do? We have some cool stuff coming up right after this. Watch from Home Theater is going to be watching Star Trek First Contact with Jonathan Frakes. You literally don't have to go anywhere for that. Just hang out right here. You will need to get a copy yourself. So if you own it, sync it up. They'll give you time to sort of set the right time code. But if you don't have it, I believe it's on Amazon Prime. And then tomorrow they're going to be watching the Netflix original movie Extraction, which stars Chris Hemsworth, who I believe will be making an appearance on the stream along with them.
Yeah.
As well as the Russo brothers and director Sam Hargrave. So that's on this very channel right here. Same time, 5 o'clock right after this show. And on that note, I think we're about ready to wind things up right here. Gentlemen, thanks for chatting.
Thank you, Max.
You're welcome.
Yes.
All right. We'll see you back here tomorrow, same time. Have a good evening, everybody.
Later.